Okay, here we're going to focus on the first element of transformation processes. So as you can see on the screen there, the first two videos with respect to operations processes has focused on the key inputs. They're divided up into or separated into transformed resources of materials, information, customers, and transforming resources of human resources and facilities. But the transformation processes is about when those inputs are converted or the transformation is occurring, before they can achieve the output, what considerations need to be made. And the first one is the 4 V's. The influence, how does volume, variety, variation, demand, and visibility have an impact on the overall process? Then we'll separately look at sequencing and scheduling, technology, task design, process layout, and monitoring, control, and improvement. So 4 key questions really about how a business will produce its goods and services, with the first one being the influence of volume. So the question here is how much of the product is going to be made. Volume flexibility refers to how quickly the transformation process can adjust to increases or decreases in demand. So is this particular business able to cope with significant changes or unusual changes to volume? And can it react accordingly? What's the lead time? So how long is it going to take for an order to be fulfilled? And this is just as relevant for a service-based business. So how flexible can the business be with respect to volume if it suddenly has to do 50 tax returns for its clients that it doesn't ordinarily do? Or lead time, how long is it going to take them to get back to their clients to complete their tax return if they're given that today? Variety relates to what range of outputs should be made. So what are the different models and variations offered in the product mix? If it's a car manufacturer, how many different models are we going to make? What's the variety going to be? What impact is that going to have on the overall operations, and specifically in materials, information, and customers? Is a mix of flexibility? Is there going to be a mix of flexibility in the products that are made or the services that are delivered? And also, and the fact that the greater the variety of products that's made, the more operations processes that need to allow for variation. So if you're producing 10 different motor cars and each car comes in 8 different colours, that means you're actually producing 80 different motor vehicles in that instance. But if you're just producing 1, or 2, think Tesla, and you're only going to produce it in a couple of colours, red, white, black, is pretty much it. There's not a lot of variety, and it makes the operations process a lot easier. Variation demand. So how can the operations process respond if there are changes in demand? That could be seasonal, it could be related to holiday times, it could be related to other times of the year, other factors that might cause variations in demand. When there's steady, predictable level, the operations is going to be similar in terms of to produce that low variety and a high volume product. But where there's volatility in that demand, operations need to be very flexible. They need to be adaptable. They need to be able to alter their volume of production to meet that variation in demand. And that is aided somewhat by the next thing we'll look at after the 4 V's, being critical path analysis and Gantt charts on the use of those. The last V is visibility. So how much of the process directly involves the customer? Is it a product that the customer has a lot of input into, or is it a product that is pretty much off the shelf, same for every customer? Services have high visibility, and we've spoken about that before, whereas manufactured goods are fairly low visible, i.e. the customer doesn't have much input into the nature of those particular products, any changes that might occur to those products. Direct contact with staff or in face-to-face has an impact on visibility, and indirect contact could be things like customer reviews or analysing particular sales data, and that has an impact on the level of visibility that occurs within that organisation. And we'll stop that there.